Faces in here.
Yeah. All right. Hello, hello. Good evening and a happy Wednesday. So every Wednesday we have a Zoom party here. It's a party like only 30 minutes, and we sometimes we share the product information and we share the good story. Something like you will definitely learn a lot. So my name is Jun Sang. I am located in Columbus, Ohio. I started my business like 16 years ago. It's like it's been so long. I cannot even imagine. But I'm so excited because every year company comes out with new technology. So this year, actually last year, we started technology called Renu SPA. And this is the device and it looks very cool. It's like very high tech. So it's very special because when it came out, it's FDA cleared as a medical device. So many benefits. I can't even talk about like so many benefits, like three major benefits. What I really like about the first number one is the technology, the microcurrent technology, which is like micro pulsing of the current technology. So unlike the massage tool, you have like vibration or the light or laser or something. It's really something, it's a micro housing, the current, microcurrent penetrates deeper into your body and then helps with your lymphatic circulation. Right. So if your lymphatic circulation is not good, then your body cannot get out of the waste and then you will have a swelling and the pain. So that's how that works with lymphatic circulation, blood circulation, and also it helps with a muscle relaxation. So the microcurrent like massage, it's the massage of your muscle. It's like micro massage, like micro is contraction of your muscle, and then you don't feel anything, but it's actually working on that. It's so cool. So that's why we're going to talk about something today about the muscle relaxation and for sports people. And the plus for the beauty side, it helps with cellulite, right? Cellulite, skin firming, and helps with um, the bat wing and double chin, your belly, so many benefits. So every time we discover something new, I'm so happy today because I'm so honored to have our guest speaker today, Dr. Angela Buckley, and she's also one of my dearest friends, and she has so many talents. I can't even, let me think. Okay, of course, she's a PhD doctor, and she's a coach. She's author, speaker, and she's a Team USA triathlon athlete. Okay, so representing, America to join competition, Team USA. So that's like extreme sports to me. So they do swimming, everything very extreme. Okay, she's also expert in outdoor activities like camping, hiking, whatever extreme is. We're talking about extreme. Not the car camping. Okay, so and the coach for Boy Scout. So she's
Yeah,
leading
scout leader.
the Boy Scout leader. So a lot of things, and she's also a musician, right? She plays what's the instrument that you play?
It's the Swiss horn. It's called
Oh,
the Alp horn, like Alps, like the mountains.
yeah, it's like the long thing. When I went to Switzerland, I saw
Yeah.
people that play that. It's a
Yes.
traditional instrument, and then she's a musician. She's got so many talents. So today we're so honored to have her here to share about her story, how she started to learn about Renew Spa, and how that helps her as a professional athlete with her like recovery, right? Post workout recovery, how to improve performance. And she also shared to many athletes.
Yeah.
So let's just invite Dr. Angela Buckley. Let's give her some like welcome flowers, everything, and show your welcome. And so yeah, okay. It's recorded. Yeah, actually it's recorded. Yeah. Okay, here you go, Angela. So it's all
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, June. So, as you know, June introduced this device to me last year. I had had a major injury actually with the Scouts. I was out hiking with them and jumped off a tree into what I thought was going to be this wonderful bed of leaves. And it was not. There was something underneath, and my foot was stuck. I wasn't able to bend my knee at all. And I was carrying a 50-pound pack. So all of my weight went straight down onto my knee. It tore my ACL and it shattered both meniscus. I ended up having surgery very quickly after that. And I am just now coming out of the full recovery and I have full release to sport. I was very lucky to have June in my court at this point because, as you can see, I'm not an 18-year-old racing. And so, one thing that we see with this type of injury is that oftentimes it's 4 to 6 weeks minimum from the time of injury before you can have that surgery because you have so much swelling. The doctors will not do that type of surgery until you've gotten the swelling down and you have some range of motion. I was able to have that surgery within 3 weeks of the incident to the time of actual surgical intervention. And one reason for that, it was been the help of the Renu SPA because I was using it to get the swelling out of the knee. I was able to get the range of motion. And what that does is it allows the doctors to get in and have a clear cut and clear slice, clear pathway to the source of the injury. They replaced my ACL, they cleaned up the 2 MCLs, and then within short order, I had some very quick recovery times because, again, I was able to use this not on the incisions, but in the surrounding areas to help reduce the swelling. Swelling is a part of our healing process, so it comes back on a regular basis, and that's okay. But what we want to do is like have some of the swell and then reduce that swelling because what you're doing is encouraging the blood to come in and bring that nutrition, but you don't want it to get stuck. So, so having this, like I could use this, you could visibly see the swelling reduce, and that brought me a lot of pain relief because pain is really associated with a lot of the swelling. And then in the next morning, it would swell again, and we would go through that same cycle. But my healing process was significantly faster as a result of being able to get that swelling out, get the range of motion that was necessary to do that. So I've been very thankful to get back to sport at a reasonable pace. Again, I'm not an 18, 19-year-old athlete at this point. I race in the 50 to 55 age group, and it's a lot of fun to be out there and be out there with a lot of other athletes who are putting their bodies on the line and really joyfully moving through the world. So, what happens when you have an injury of that nature is that you are no longer in the Team USA cycle. Every single year, you have to requalify for your position on the team. Since I wasn't in Australia last year at Worlds, I will have to requalify this year. And what I wanted to share with you tonight is how I'm using the device to really get back to the fitness levels that I was at 2 years ago, year ago, prior to the injury. And athletes, people who have traditionally been racing for a long time, they have a bad habit of going too hard too fast. And what happens when you do that is that you get so much soreness that you actually have to take a couple days off in order to recover to get back into that workout routine. And it takes a little bit of juggling to find out what that right spot is when you're coming back off an injury. I don't have time to do that because I have goals. And so one of the things that's really helped me is as I'm going through, some of these are new exercises because I'm exercising around the knee and still protecting it. But sometimes I'll get super tight in my upper shoulders, right? Because remember, I have to swim, I have to sit on a bike. And when we sit on a bike in this sport, we are down all the way down, like belly is over with our head just holding up for hours on end. So all of these muscles have to be really in top shape so that you can stay in that arrow position. There is a lot of tension that occurs and you have to build that up. And what's interesting, we all sit on our computers and look at our phones like this all day long, right? When you're on the bike, it's the exact opposite. So you have to have your head up because you're in this lay down position. Those muscles get weak and you have to spend a lot of time strengthening them. This has been a game changer for me because as those muscles have weakened over these last 9 months, not doing that level of intensity or sitting in that position for 2 or 3 hours at a time, I need to strengthen these without getting the headaches, without getting the tension, and being able to get back at it the next day. What this does is it helps remove a lot of the what we call lactic acid that builds up over time. So what happens when you're in sport, you are burning your glycogen, and when you're burning the glucose, going through that glucose reaction, we have something that builds up in our muscles that's called lactic acid. The lactic acid is what causes the soreness when you are racing or after you're racing, right? Like if you've ever seen an athlete come down after a marathon and they can suddenly no longer walk, stairs are the worst thing. Like it's the biggest joke. You just ran 26 miles, but you can't walk 10 steps. We've seen people when we were in Chicago coming back to Cleveland, you knew who raced because you would get to the rest stop and there would be the family member who's chucking off and like jogging over to the bathroom, and then the athlete who can't even walk anymore because all that lactic acid is stuck in their body and it is so difficult to get rid of it. And you spend literally 4 days solid just drinking water, trying to flush your system. You don't have to spend as much time. Don't get me wrong, that is still happening, but the Renew Spa can really help you reduce that recovery time. The quicker you recover, the quicker you can get back to having a strong, powerful workout. And that is what I've been trying to like share with some of my athletes. And honestly, many of the athletes are jumping in and purchasing and using this in order to get your neck stronger. I don't know any person that is a long distance runner that hasn't talked about their IT band. For those of you who maybe aren't running as much, the IT band is the only band in the body that goes across two joints. So it attaches above your hip. So it's crossing across your hip and then it connects on the inside of your knee, but on the calf side. So it's going over your hip and your knee for that connection. And as a result, it is very, very difficult to um, keep stretched out, keep loose. And there are so many intervention devices on the market. We have rollers, we have massage balls, we have Thames, we have air cuffs that like sit there, you wrap it around and it'll massage your leg. I have them all. I own all of them. And this one has been the game changer. First of all, it travels so well. All those other ones are super heavy and they get caught every time I go through um, airport security because they have so many batteries. This one goes through airport security with no problem. I've never had it stopped and it's been in my backpack many times. It's flown with me on all of my trips. And all I have to do is take the gel, right? So many, if you guys are familiar with it, I'm taking my gel and I'm taking my Renew Spa at the end of the day and making sure that I'm doing this on a regular basis, especially as I'm building up volume. Every day we're adding another 15 minutes. We build 3 weeks and then we sort of hold steady for 1 week. And we do this cycle in these 4 week chunks. I'll do that for the next 4 months, nonstop. Every week will be greater, and then 1 week of pause, or not take a break, but just hold even. So we talk about what this build looks like. It's important to do that because that's the level of sport that I'm trying to be at, but this applies to anybody. It doesn't have to be just the athlete. Anyone who's getting ready for their summer body, they want to start a new exercise routine. You're going to use your muscles maybe in a different way. So maybe you started using the elliptical instead of just walking on a treadmill. You're going to suddenly find, excuse me, you're gonna suddenly find that you're using those hip muscles in a different way and you'll have soreness or maybe some sort of imbalance. The new skin, the Renew Spa will help you with that. You put on the gel, you run through that and follow the systems, right? Like when you connect it to your phone, it can give you some hints. But really, what we do is we start large and then find the spot that's really sore. And then I just spend a minute on that sore spot. As a competitive swimmer, and I swam in college. I played water polo for Ohio State. I used to have shoulders, really, really big shoulders, but I still have the swimmers issues because I've literally been swimming competitively for 40 years now, and we always get a little sore spot right in here. Ever since I have used this, I can maintain that without being sore. I still get sore after a workout, but I'm not sore for 3, 4, 5 days, and I don't have to skip a workout or spend hours on end with ice packs on my shoulders. In fact, I don't spend any time with ice packs on my shoulders anymore. So it's really made a difference for my performance, for being able to get back in the pool the very next day instead of waiting 3 days, and making sure that the swelling goes down. The body is dealing and the muscle progression is happening without all of the soreness. That is so frustrating as you are becoming an athlete and as you're just walking through the world. So I use it specifically for me as an athlete. I have the hot shoulders from swimming, I have the IT band, and then just sort of any other little sore spot that pops up from time to time. June knows, she told you that I play a musical instrument, and that particular instrument requires that I wear high heels. And high heels and long distance running do not play well together, so my feet are very sore. So on a given day, when I come back from an event after I've worn these ridiculously high heels, I'll pull this out instead of wandering around and complaining that my feet hurt all day. I use that, and then the next day I wake up and I'm spry. Like, I don't feel like I have all that pain. I don't feel like I'm shuffling off, which I have done in the past to try to walk through to wake up in the morning. Um, so really, if I find a sore spot, it's my new go-to. It's no longer I should take some Advil, which used to be my thing. It's no longer I used to sleep with ice packs from time to time because I was interested in getting back to sport as quickly as possible. I don't have to do all of that. Now, my my Renew Spa travels with me. I still use my other modalities because they have a place in my sporting development, but this is my one that stays with me all the time. So I'm happy to answer any questions about the experience of using it, or if you have a particular muscle sore set that you wanted to talk about how to use it if you have questions.
That's wonderful. Very, very impressive, actually. I felt that because when we age, like especially after 50, and you are still in sports, extreme sports.
Yep.
So that's something like amazing. And the way, so I always tell people, okay, this is not just a simple device. People, they don't understand because when you have this, the value you have, and you can literally have this for so many different usages. So when I heard what Angela just talked about, right? So she used that for many, many different usages. And I discovered this one, like if you know, there's a if you go to like Instagram, if you find something, the Chinese herbalist or acupuncturist, they talk about okay, you can massage here for something, right? Massage here or massage there for headache, for migraine, and for what do you call like the pain over here? I
I
forgot it. Yeah, the back pain.
take me off highlight so I can see what you're pointing to.
Yeah, okay. Just like maybe take you remove the spotlight. Yeah.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
there's so many places like what do you
Like
call that? The back pain from the
the
hip.
lower, like your lower lumbar.
Yeah, the hip
Yeah.
and what's
So I have scoliosis, so I often get right on the top of the pelvis, right in the back,
right,
often gets very sore. And again, when you're in that position, bent over your bike, your muscles are in traction that entire time.
right.
And you're pedaling for like hours, right?
Hours now.
And so that helping on the backside of that it is tremendous.
Oh
So
my, yeah, that's it. That's like you can work on any part of the body, like neck below, right? And so many usages. I have a lot of testimonials, and also I think some of the technique, like for instance, like during the not the COVID, like I was having some colds, right? And
yeah.
coughing. Like think about coughing. If you look up their Instagram, they will tell you coughing you can use on the meridian channel for the lung,
Yes. Yep.
definite spots. So almost like you have someone who's an acupuncturist like in your house
Yes.
and massage
Yes.
therapist in your house. So
Yep.
this is something amazing, amazing. And if you have like kids in sports, I think most of the parents don't realize the sports. The kids they go to sports, swimming or the gymnastics or something, and they actually get injured, right? So I think Angela, that isn't that what be a very great tool for the parents to have that handy to help with the swelling, everything, right?
It is, right, like soccer, that's very common to like twist an ankle and you can really get that swelling out pretty quickly. And the youth, unless it's a tear, but it usually isn't, right? You rolled your ankle. This would be great to get it on there that night, maybe the next morning, and then sort of work your way back into it. So I wanted to answer, there's a couple questions over here in the chat. So let me respond. Is that Yu Ting? Is that how you pronounce your
Yeah,
name?
eating.
Okay, so you were saying your right side is more sore than the left, and so it specifically to the Renew Spa, to this device, really what you would do is um start like I always there's lymph nodes in your groin. So that's the part, right? Like where the leg is kind of joining into your major body. So at that joint, I always spend, if I'm doing my lower legs, I always spend 1 minute on the right side, 1 minute on the left side, getting those lymph nodes moving. So there's two spots for your major lymph nodes, right here along your collarbones, and then right where your legs are joining in the front part of your body. You can
The
kind of
ground,
feel them, right? They feel like maybe little almonds or something you feel in that crease. So I'll do 1 minute. If it's my right side, then I would do 1 minute in that sort of crease spot, and then I would move over to the hip, and you just start in broad. So I'm touching my hip and you can't see it, but you're gonna start in broad strokes, and then as you get tighter, you're gonna feel like the spot that's the issue. And so then I'm just gonna spend maybe 2, 3 minutes right around that spot that's the most sore. But if you're having soreness in your hip, one of the things that you can do is make sure that you're doing walking lunges, doing backward lunges, and you're going to try to really focus on getting a strong core so that you're not landing somehow harder on one side or the other. And using that to also, so like one of the things you're trying to do is get rid of the soreness so that you're not recreating the problem every single time. Also, again, runners, because everybody thinks running is two legs, but it's not. It's one leg sport at a time, right? It's right and then it's left. So if one side is sore, there's probably something else on the left side that is also sore that isn't sore yet. You don't know it. So take a little time and run the machine over basically everything on your left leg and see if you find a sore spot that you didn't identify originally. So I sometimes use this, yes, I'm sore, and that's why I'm going to focus on until the soreness goes away. But I don't know, once a week or once every other week, I'll just sort of do like a full body. And then sometimes I find a spot, I'm like, oh, I didn't know that was sore. And
right,
and what you end up doing when you didn't know it was sore is you're compensating on the other side. And so the real injury or the real weakness might be somewhere else. So you want to look for that as well as you're going through your development. So
right.
I hope maybe did that answer your question, Yuting?
Yeah. So,
So, okay, great. And then when you also asked another question, how long do I use it for recovery on one spot, like knee or shoulder? So if you have a long-term injury, right, like swimmer shoulders, or you get like a frozen shoulder, those are going to take 30 days minimum to really get a good heal. But if I'm just sore from a muscle workout, I will just do like from neck down to maybe elbow. That might be 5 minutes on each side.
mhm,
5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. Like maybe I'll watch a 30-minute TV show and I
mhm,
don't do anything much more than that. But if I have a specific sore spot, I might spend 2 minutes. I wouldn't spend more than that on an isolated spot because what you're trying to do is get everything flowing and then get, again, shoulders are going to come to these collarbone lymph nodes. I would spend a minute up here, right? These are my favorite to get all the draining out of my sinuses. I would spend a minute or two along the collarbone, right above and below, and then I would spend the rest of my 5-minute session on the spot that's really hurting.
That's great. Yeah. And it's just like something about regular usages. And I encourage everyone to use that regularly because sometimes we feel like, okay, I don't have specific pain, but actually
Right.
it's not circulating well. So make that
Yep.
a thing. So I normally do that post workout, like definitely do it. Yeah.
Yep. Or once a week on the bottom of your feet. That's fantastic. You'll be
Oh,
surprised what happens.
foot massage.
The bottom of your feet and like the the inner and the outer sides of the calves, those are different muscles.
Hmm.
And it's super helpful to like really reduce your overall tension in your body when you focus on that.
Right, right. So that's a foot massage. And I recently realized and the hand massage works really well as well. The hand massage, your hand and your foot really reflect the whole meridian channel, like
Yeah.
on inside refractory thing. So I feel like we are so fortunate to have a device like that. And I definitely wanted to introduce to your friends or some of the professionals. We definitely want to talk to them, athletes, people in sports, or anyone can use that, right?
Yeah.
All right. Any other
So
questions?
there was one more question, Angela Jones. So Angela, really, you don't need to do more than once a day on a particular area. Like I don't think I use it more than 20 minutes a day on any given day. I don't have 20 minutes every day to do
Right.
that. So between 5 and 20, but never more than 5 on a given spot.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I'm really, really sick. Like, I'm gonna admit, like, I broke my own rules. I had the sinus thing that everybody had over Christmas, and instead of taking cough medicine, I just kept draining my lymph nodes up here, and it really made a difference. So, but it was only 2 minutes here, 2 minutes there or something, it really helped get the drainage and get everything just out, Not like athletes, we get sick like everyone else.
Yes. Yeah. We wanted to reduce all the pain medication, wanted to
We
have
do, right. Yeah,
natural way of self-care. And that's like a completely new thing, right? So otherwise you will have to rely on the pain medication stuff. Yeah.
yeah,
All right. So one leg 30 minutes. It could be because you have different parts of your leg, right? So
yeah.
like,
I mean, I don't know if you need to do 30 minutes, but, like, when I have an injury, I might spend a little more time.
right.
I just don't have 30 minutes. I don't have an hour to do each all my legs every
Yeah.
day.
Just a daily 5 minutes, like particular spot, and then you change that over time. Like today,
Yeah.
you do this, and tomorrow you can do arm or belly, and it just like rotate. And
You need to get a cold bath. I have one of those ice baths. 3
mhm.
minutes in the ice bath will get you going too.
Right. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Our time is up, and thank you so much, Dr. Angela Buckley. And hope to have you, in later shows. Then we can talk more about that. Thank you everyone for joining. And we have every Wednesday, weekly Zoom party to talk about everything fun about beauty and wellness. And thank you so much. All right. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.